Chapter 1. The Accident. This interesting period of my life began on Friday, the 29th of November, 1918, 2 days before Prohibition came into effect on Sunday, December 1st, in Pennsylvania. I was a boss in the St. Michael coal mine with 15 men under my care. My men agreed to take Saturday off and drink beer for the last time without breaking the law. At about 9 o'clock in the evening on the 29th, there was a knock on my door. 3 women were standing at my doorstep. One of them spoke up, "Mr. Stephenson, we want our husbands to go to work tomorrow. We need the money." "All right," I said. "You tell your husbands I will go with them." The next morning I met the 3 men, took them into the mine, showed them what I wanted them to do, and sat down. As I watched them remove some timber, a large rock began to slowly move, and it was going to roll onto one of the men, which meant death. I jumped up, grabbed the man, and pushed him to safety. The rock gained speed and caught me, knocked me down, and crushed my leg flat. I felt sure that my leg was cut off. But when the men lifted the rock, I saw that my foot came with my leg, so I felt better knowing it was still on. "Oh, yes!" I screamed for a few minutes. The shock was so sudden, and I was not ashamed of the noise I made. They soon had a stretcher, and I kept my thumb on my main artery to stop the bleeding until the first aid man came with a tourniquet. They got me out of the mine at 8 o'clock, but no ambulance could be had. At 10 o'clock they fixed the store truck by stretching ropes across the side panels, then put the stretcher on the ropes and started for Windber Hospital, 11 miles away. The mine doctor went along with me. He kept feeding me little pills to kill the pain. At the hospital, they carried me into the operating room and placed me on a high table, where Dr. Wheeling greeted me by cutting off all my clothes, tossing them into a corner, and saying, "You won't need them for a long time." "Stephenson, that's your name, isn't it?" "Yes, sir." Dr. Wheeling was the director and chief surgeon of the little Windber Hospital and had a reputation for being a kind man. He and Dr. Gurley examined my leg. Gurley shook his head and commented, "Amputate." Then Dr. Wheeling turned to me and asked, "What do you say? You are the doctor. Whatever you say is all right with me. I have confidence that you will do the right thing," I said. After a closer look, Dr. Wheeling decided, "By damn, we will try to save this leg. It will take 6 weeks to find out if we can, but we will go through with it." He cleaned the wound and, with a pair of tweezers, began to take out small pieces of bone. In about half an hour he said, "There is no severing of the arteries or the muscles or the ligaments, just the bone all crushed to hell. Stephenson, how do you feel?" "It hurts. I can stand it, but I feel a little sick in the stomach. I must say you have done well." He then packed the leg with what seemed like yards and yards of cotton. Finally he wrapped my leg, called for the stretcher, and told the nurse, "Put him to bed, surround him with lots of blankets and hot water bottles. He will most likely take chills when the reaction sets in." I did take chills for 24 hours from loss of blood. The doctor gave me some whiskey, and that checked the chills. Chapter 2. Hospital reform. I could not eat the food they served me, and on the 5th day, Dr. Wheeling asked, "Why are you not eating your meals?" "I find it is more like a pig pen, the way they serve the food and the quality of it." "What do you mean?" "Well, the basket of bread they bring in for breakfast goes down the other side of the ward first. I get it last, and when it comes to me there are about 5 pieces left. These have been handled by everyone before it reaches me, and not one of these men has washed their hands. How do I know what they have been doing or where they have had their hands all night long?" "No, doctor, I am an Englishman and have always had the best of food, cooked clean and served clean. I cannot eat this way. The one egg is rotten, the butter stinks, and I don't like coffee. I want tea with cream and sugar." "You do?" "Yes, sir. House of Lords tea. They have it in the company's store at St. Michael's mine." The doctor then turned to the nurse superintendent and said, "Give Stephenson a special tray from now on and get him a teapot and House of Lords tea, cream and sugar. You can make it 2 eggs for all the patients and give them sugar from now on." "Yes, doctor," she said without enthusiasm. The next morning my special tray arrived with tea, cream and sugar, but the bread was hard and dry, and the butter was worse than ever. I cut off the tops of the 2 eggs, and they were rotten. I borrowed the 2 empty eggshells from the man in the next bed, so my tray looked clean except for the shells. Then I wrapped my food in paper and put it under my pillow. About 30 minutes after breakfast was over, Dr. Wheeling came in and asked how I enjoyed my breakfast. I was ready for him. "I have not eaten yet." "Why not?" "The superintendent told me that you had cleaned your plate." "I did, Doctor. Smell this." I handed him the package. When he opened it, Dr. Wheeling's face expressed disgust. He pressed the buzzer for the superintendent, who had carefully taken him to question other patients about the improved menu before visiting me. Stephenson said he enjoyed his breakfast, at least his tea. "He's never satisfied. He finds fault with everything." "Yes, but what has he done or said to you that you treat him this way?" "I just don't like him," she said. "So you served him these 2 eggs and this butter and bread that is not fit, as he said yesterday, for a pig to eat? You are fired. You go back to the office. I will write your check." Turning to me, he said, "Stephenson, you will be served another breakfast, and you can have your eggs any way you want them." Then ham and eggs this morning. I feel hungry. Soon my breakfast was brought in. That afternoon the doctor brought a new superintendent to see me. "Stephenson will be with us for a long time, Miss Delahan, and I want you to see that he gets what he can eat." Then he turned to me and said, "Stephenson, I thought you were just an English grouch, but I thank you for letting me know how the food situation has been for these patients. From now on, everyone will have bread on his tray and choice of tea or coffee. And don't be afraid to complain if you feel justified at any time in the future. But I think Miss Delahan and you will get along all right," I said. As I looked at her, "I am sure we will, Doctor." From then on my food was of the best, and I ate well.